Hello. Today I'm going to do an update video on my 5-gallon and also talk some about introducing new fish. I actually have shrimp today to introduce, but same diff. First I want to show you an update. Let's see what the tank is looking like. For a bit of introduction, you can watch the video before this, which is from September. I think I set it up the first week of September. I'll put a link down here, bar. But so this tank has done really, really well. Let me show you. If you can, well, the glare is not so good. Let's see if I can stand in front of the glare. Sort of. Okay. Well, I'm using the Amano soil, Amazonia, or maybe it's called Amazon. Words always escape me when I'm making these videos. Correct words anyway. I tend to make things up. But it is that super expensive Amano soil, which honestly I only used because it was such a small tank. And it was like, okay, I can pick up this bag, it's black, and it's going to be awesome. I knew it. My next tank is going to be dirt and cheap gravel, which I'll be talking about in a new video coming up. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to put my bag of shrimp in the tank to start acclimating. I have one red cherry shrimp in here already, and today I bought another one. Of course, it won't come out when I want it to. So, okay, the first step in acclimating is always just putting the bag in the water with it still sealed up. It's easy when you have an open top tank like this. If you don't have an open top tank, just, flip open the lid, and if it fits, it'll sit right in there. If it won't fit, you might have to take the whole lid off. Ordinarily, if I'm acclimating, I would turn off the light, but since we're looking at the tank, I'm going to leave the light on. Hopefully the shrimp won't be too freaked out. The process can take hours, it can take, minutes. It just sort of depends. Like I always say, I don't like there to be hard and fast rules for this, but really more of an idea about being mindful about your own tank conditions. And I have a dripping faucet that I've got to turn off right now. Hold on. Hooray for old pipes, huh? Okay, so update on the tank while my shrimp get acclimated. So right now they're just acclimating to the temperature. I bought these from my favorite aquarium store here in Portland, Oregon. It's called the Wet Spot. And I would honestly feel comfortable just dumping this in, but I don't recommend that you do that because it's a bad practice. I don't want you to follow my bad practices. I drove home, it's winter now, so I drove home with the heat on in my car, so the temperature shouldn't be too different. But I am going to acclimate it with proper procedure just so I can show you guys. So I'm going to let that sit there for about 5 minutes to acclimate the temperature. And then what I'm going to do, this company Sera, S-E-R-A, makes chemicals, and they provide the fish store that I go to, Wet Spot, with these nice bags that actually have very good instructions for acclimating. And they talk about, opening the bag, putting a little bit of your water in there, then as time goes by, a little more in your water, time goes by, a little more in your water, and then using a net to scoop out the fish or shrimp. Because when fish or shrimp are traumatized, like, being in a bag is really scary for them, so they just shit their little brains out. So there's no point in adding all that nitrate to the tank. So we would do that if we had a net. I don't have a net yet, so It's funny, when I lived in Michigan I had so much aquarium stuff, and now that I moved out here I don't have as much. But I'm working on it, so. Onto the update. I still have the same, it's called Aqueon, A-Q-U-E-O-N filter. This is, I believe, rated for a 10-gallon. And it's weird because it gives good water circulation on about half the tank of the, this is a 5-gallon, so I don't know. But I'm pretty happy with it, and it's got like the floss filter cartridge. I took the carbon out of it. It's really freaking dirty. Ideally what I do is just wash that in aquarium water and put it back in, but I have been known to just run it under the sink. There's a lot of beneficial bacteria just on like this thing, on the pieces of plastic in the filter. But I never have replaced this itself in 3 months, so I'm pretty confident that I'm doing that right. I also stock very lightly, so. This tank has had, as far as occupants, it's had the one cherry shrimp, it's had 3 White Cloud Mountain minnows, and it had, very briefly, a Borneo loach, which I don't know how, but it has left the tank. My cat has never eaten anything out of the tank before or put his paws in the tank. I didn't think a Borneo loach could flip itself out of the tank. I mean, they don't have pectoral fins, as far as I can tell, but that little sucker is gone unless it's buried. I mean, I went and picked up all the rocks. Anyways, on to the update some more. As far as plants, there's tons of Java fern. That is the Windalove variety. Tons of crypts up here. I've actually separated those a couple times, which is really, divided them, separated them, really easy to do. And over here we've got Riccia tied onto pieces of basalt. Where I live here in the Pacific Northwest, there's just basalt all over the place. I live near a railroad, so it's been super easy to find. I have a giant thriving sword plant back here, which is actually going to go in my new tank. I know it's too big for this tank. Down here, I've got some baby Java fern tied to more pieces of basalt, and then behind that is water lotus, a red one, and behind that is more basalt with Java fern, using my famous fishnet tights method. Hopefully that will fill in soon. And then on top we've got floating Riccia, and we've got water lettuce. The larger water lettuce are probably going to go into my new tank. So that's cool, and I am enjoying this light. My tank had a ton of algae when I first got it, just regular hair algae kind of coating the walls, and that Borneo pleco and the red cherry shrimp did a fantastic job of cleaning it. So what I'm going to do now is add a little water, set the camera down here, to the bag. The rubber band always flies off. The dog will find it. So they add water, they add water and air to the package. So what I'm doing is just rolling this down so it's not so big. It's still gonna float. And they were nice and put a piece of some kind of plant. I don't actually know what that is. It might be parrot's feather. in there, and oh, actually it turns out they gave me 2 shrimp instead of 1. One is smaller and not really red. It's sort of a clear, I wonder if that's an Amano shrimp. Or maybe a juvenile cherry shrimp. I'm not sure. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is just sort of dip the edge of this into my tank and get some mixture in there. Hopefully nobody freaks out. I don't actually know what my pH, GH, any of that, KH is. Not a big, huge tester anymore since I don't use CO2 anymore. If I ever get a hold of a kit for some reason, I might test it once a month, but I prefer to go by how my fish and plants are thriving, and I want to see them thriving, so I don't know. And I'd like to do that without chemicals. I'd like to just get species that are happy with the water that I can get out of the tap. That's really the easiest thing to do. Which is why I really love White Cloud Mountain minnows. They're beautiful and they're super adaptable. I got them just to cycle the tank, and they were cheap. But I got them from a good fish store. I don't recommend going to the chains, the PetSmart, Petco, Walmart. Yeah, I recommend the mom and pop stores for everything. So what I would like to get for this tank is a thermometer. So I just don't know. It feels under 80 degrees. I've got a heater in there, so it's I'm sure it's fine. So this is gonna sit a little bit longer. Shrimp seem to be fine. I wish the other one would come out. I like it when the resident comes out and meets the new resident. That shrimp is hiding. So that is that. And so as far as plans for this tank, I'm probably going to take that Amazon sword out, even though it did make a flower spike, which I don't think I've seen before on those in one of my tanks, so that's cool. I kind of like to do jungle val or corkscrew val or something that's tall and straight rather than the Amazon sword, which stretches out. I've got a lot of watts per gallon going here, so I kind of need some really robust growing plants. I'm not sure if Java fern and crypts are going to handle all this light very well by themselves, unless I just have the light on for a few hours a day, which is definitely a solution. So, okay, I will be back with another video about my new dirt tank. Thank you for watching.